why are you so upset today?
I voted for him to protect America, and now he's throwing our money at other countries and dragging us into another war.
You know what's crazy? The same people who screamed Trump 2024 with their whole chest are now crying on TikTok saying, I didn't know this would affect my family. Oh, really? Let's talk about MAGA voters who are now regretting everything. But before we do that, do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel, drop your comments, and let's dive into it.
And I regret my damn vote, okay? He promised America first. Now he's sending billions to Israel while we're drowning back home. And
Sir, why are you so upset today?
I voted for him to protect America, and now he's throwing our money at other countries and dragging us into another war.
Sir?
I didn't vote for him to babysit the whole damn world. I voted for America first.
It's time to speak up. Well, it appears the joke's on me. It appears I have been the biggest fool alive. You see, before the last couple of days, I knew that there was a segment of MAGA who just hated, who just wanted to burn the world down, and they don't care who they hurt. In the meantime, I knew there was that section, but I really, really thought that most of MAGA just didn't get it. I really thought they just didn't understand. They didn't understand economics because it's complicated. They hadn't studied Project 2025, so they didn't know what was coming. But I really thought when he got in there and started doing the things that hurt so many people, that they would realize, and that they would. But they don't care. Y'all have been telling me this for 2 months, and I kept saying, no, we just have to explain it to them. We just have. Now, I know there are a few, and I thank you guys. You make it worth sticking with this. But over the last couple of days, I have realized that the majority of Republicans do not care how many people are hurt. And they are exactly what Palpatine said. They're the ones he was talking about when he said he could unalive someone in public and they would still vote for him. I thought they just wanted lower egg prices. I thought they were struggling in the economy and it was hard and they wanted their lives to be easier, and they listened to that. And that's why they voted for him. But they don't care. They literally don't care how many other people in this world are hurt. See, the difference is I'm willing to pay more for my eggs if it means no one in my country goes hungry tonight. I am willing to pay more for my eggs if it means everybody can have an egg. But they really don't care. And I am heartbroken that so many in my country don't care. That so many won't go love their neighbor. But I want to thank those of you who are. You're the ones keeping me going. Go love your neighbor.
Hi. Well, it's Sunday. So recently I ran into two of my friends, and they were both big Trump supporters. So I stopped and I said, hey, what do you think about everything that's going on with the cuts and no childhood cancer research and cuts to U.S. aid? And so what do you think? How's it going? And they both said, well, you know, since the election, we decided not to follow politics that closely. Really? So you voted for Trump, but now you don't want to follow politics? And why is that? Well, you know, it was just too upsetting. Oh, really? You voted for Trump? Choke on that word. You voted for Trump, and now you don't want to take any responsibility? Fuck you.
Appointment this is, where you just believed that a freaking politician was actually trustworthy, that whenever he said he would stay out of these wars and bring world peace, that America would be America first, not Israel first. He was convicted 34 times of tax evasion. He lied 35,000 times during his first term, and he cheated on multiple wives. We knew that he wasn't honest. That's on you and that stupid hat. There. I fixed it.
Well, we're going into war. Hello everyone, my name is Ashton and I am the ex-Trump supporter who burned my MAGA hat on a charcoal grill and everybody was concerned because I toasted marshmallows on. I did not eat those marshmallows, by the way. So the number one question people often ask me is, Ashton, how did you even get involved in the MAGA stuff anyway? Ironically, it's the very reason a lot of Trump supporters are currently mad with him right now. So when I was freshly an adult, no life experience, no understanding of the world, nada. I was entering my first election at the age of 20. I did not vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Trump in 2016. I actually voted for Gary Johnson, which is a bit more embarrassing, honestly. But I didn't like Trump. I didn't like the things he was saying. And I also really didn't like Hillary because I figured she's a warmonger. And a lot of people have the suspicion that I went through a weird Trump phase because of the guy that I was dating at the time. But the truth is that my best friend's mother, who was basically like a mother to me at the time because I didn't have a good relationship with my own family, she told me, well, Ashton, you're anti-war. And at the time, you know, I was fairly anarchist. I was very big on Ron Paul libertarianism. She says, Ashton, well, Trump is very anti-war. He spoke out against Obama. He spoke out against Clinton. He spoke out against Bush. And I thought, okay, well, if this guy has called out both Republicans and Democrats for playing world police, maybe I should give the guy a shot. And my whole thing is, if a president is anti-war, hey, I'm gonna support that. I was also really big on like supporting whistleblowers as well, and that was just something that he was doing at the time. I then started going to different Republican college events across the country, which is where I ended up getting scouted out for what would be my job for the next 2 years, which was an absolute nightmare. I can definitely make a video on that if you guys want to hear about it. And honestly, I just enjoyed the socializing more than anything else. I think I was just happy to be part of some sort of community, especially when the GOP claims to be the party of family values. And as somebody who kind of came from a broken family and was so desperate for just any sort of community, that was kind of what I think I was really craving more than anything. But anyway, Trump in his first term was sending in airstrikes every single year into Syria. And I remember calling this out and being like, yo, what's this, like, what's going on, my dude, what? And of course, you know, every Trump supporter on my timeline is like, 40 chess, bro, you gotta read The Art of War, bro, trust the process. And I was like, well, I'm new at this, I know nothing about politics, so maybe he's onto something. I don't know, but it just kept happening. It just kept happening and happening. And the $8 billion arms deal, what the heck was that about? And it got to a point where I was like, what did I get myself involved in here? And for me, it felt like people were so desperate for someone who was anti-establishment, they were willing to make any excuse they could to fit into the reality that Trump was. I basically signed myself into this contract where this management team owned my YouTube channel and my face and my name and my words, and I could not get out of it. And so eventually I just burned a Trump hat on a charcoal grill and lost tens of thousands of followers. And finally my manager was like, I'm gonna drop you. And I was like, thank God. But yeah, made a lot of Trump people very angry. And they never understood why. And a lot of them are starting to wake up to what's going on. A lot of them are starting to be like, oh shoot, like this is not what I voted for. So I'm terrified though. I'm terrified.
So my husband and I, we were driving home the other day. I was driving, he was sitting in the passenger seat. And he asked me a question, God bless him. Whoops, that's how it starts every time. He was scrolling on his phone. I'm just driving, jamming to my music. And he looks over and he says, oh, what's your take? You know, what do you think on these former Trump supporters coming out and making these videos on this app in particular, saying they regret their vote? And friends, when I tell you that I just had to do a sideways, because I'm driving, right? One sideways look, and he went, oh no. That's like, how much time do you have? Clearly, Okay. He wanted to know my take, and now you get to know my take. I did my rant and I said, I think I should share that one. And he was like, God help us. Like, yeah, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. How do I feel about these Trump supporters, former Trump supporters that are coming out and making these videos saying they regret their vote? Okay. Clearly, we need to talk about the concept of martyrdom in Christianity and how martyrdom is trained into us early and often, particularly women. And most of the videos I have seen have been women. Maybe that's just my algorithm. Maybe I'm crazy, but most of them have been women coming out and saying they regret their vote. Martyrdom is saint-like. Martyrdom is Christ-like. Martyrdom, ooh, it feels good. And so this is the issue that I have. The only person that gets to feel good about a former Trump supporter coming out and saying, I regret my vote. The only person that gets any kind of peace, sense of forgiveness, sense of moving on, sense of edification, sense of having suffered and now they are forgiven, is the person who made that video, right? The people in the comments rail against them. We don't care. We don't accept your apology, blah, blah, blah. Like the comments just flood of people letting them have it. That's what they want because they are martyring themselves, making this video. But here's the thing. The energy on the internet, the memory of the internet only lasts about 3 to 7 days if you're lucky, okay? So they make these videos and they get hammered. They get hammered for about 3 to 7 days. But then they fade away because that's what this app in particular, that's what the internet does, any kind of outrage about anything. You notice how we're already not talking about how a former House rep for Minnesota was assassinated? It happened too many fucking days ago. We've stopped talking about it. So these people get to come out. That was a Trump supporter, by the way, that did those heinous acts of violence, right? So these former Trump supporters get to come out. They get to have their 3-minute video where they act so contrite. They act so contrite. They act so penitent. And they say, I regret my vote. And I know you'll hate me for it, right? They're teeing it up. I know I'll get a lot of hate for this. They want it. They crave it. It fits the martyr narrative. And then they get to forgive themselves because they suffered as Christ suffers, right? They suffered the 3 to 7 days of internet shaming, right? But then it's over. So my question is to every single person that makes I voted for Trump and now I regret my vote video is, what are you doing outside of this video, right? Have you divested yourself from family like we have? Have you gone to the marches? Are you re-registering yourself to vote Democrats? Are you participating in campaigns? Have you gone to a single school board meeting? What are you doing? What does your actual activism look like to turn this tide away from authoritarianism? Because this video that you're doing, right? Your contrition martyrdom video, that's just for you. That's not for us. That's not for us. That's not for anyone in the comments that gets to feel 2.4 seconds of relief that they let you have it. It's not for us. It's for you to feel better. What are you actually doing to fucking fix what you fucking broke? That's my question. That's my question. Answer that question after you make your shitty fucking video where you get to feel better and you get to feel forgiven. All right? We don't forgive you. We will remember. What are you doing? What are you doing? Answer that question.
Very happy and excited that Trump won. As far as financially, obviously nothing's really changed. We're still under the Biden administration. But I know that it is coming. And so I admit I regret my vote for Donald Trump. I regret it because I needed these changes sooner. I needed the prices to go down sooner so that I didn't drain out my big...
See, some of y'all are still in the fuck around and find out stage. See, most of y'all thought that when he was elected, he was going to change everything for you. Didn't realize that his first 100 days, he didn't give two shits about you. Every executive order was for something else besides what you thought it was going to be for. He's a businessman, so I'm not even sure why you guys are even surprised. These type of people don't go through everyday American shit. You thought he was going to feel your pain or he was going to help you out with what you was going through? Good old Daddy Donnie got your ass again. Hey, as I always say, this is who y'all voted for.
I was a dumbass, voted for Trump. It was the worst decision I ever made.
I've seen the light, and I got out of MAGA. A lot of us there have seen the light. We have deep regrets.
I feel guilty because I voted for Trump twice. I feel very guilty because I feel responsible. That's why he's still running.
I was with Trump for 9 straight years. I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now. I'm no longer rocking with Trump.
I used to be a MAGA Republican, and now I've turned blue. And it makes me emotional to know that I ever fucking stood by idly and blind and let that shit happen.
Because I know that I have been a Trump supporter, and I can no longer say that I am MAGA. And
I regret my vote for Trump.
I voted for Trump. I'm done. I have I don't have any more resilience in me.
What do you love about Donald Trump?
I love the man. He's a real man, and I've been to 5 Trump rallies, and it just doesn't, we need him. This country needs him.
For what specifically? Like, what's the one thing when you say we need Donald Trump? What's the thing
He's an excellent leader. He made lots of changes that really got our country moving, and these Democrats are ruining our country. They're just hell-bent on turning this country into a communist country, and they're going to try socialism first, then it'll go to communism, and we can't have that.
Where do you see that you're talking about evidenced in the last few years?
Trying to go to socialism? Well, let me think about that, because there's lots of things, but...
So far in this interview, it's a standard release of generic talking points about how evil, scary, and socialist those libs are, and how Trump is the superhero that we all need to stop them. So time for the details that Trump never let them in on.
All the regulations, big government. The government just keeps getting bigger. Hiring IRS agents to go after we the people, we the taxpayers that work to support the lazy Democrats that refuse to work. And that's why we need Donald Trump. Everybody in this country needs to work if they're able.
Right, but, our joblessness numbers now are quite low in this country.
Are you sure about that?
Well, I'm going off the metrics that we use for every president and every administration. The Department of Labor statistics say that we have very low unemployment now.
How can that be? How can that be when we have...
I'm not a labor expert, but I'm going off the numbers that we credit Trump and Clinton and...
illegal aliens in our country that are unaccounted for, and just because there's jobs out there, that's not Biden's doing.
I'm not saying. I'm just talking about the current state of affairs right now. Like whatever presidency, whether it's like I said, Clinton or Reagan or Trump or Biden, we go off of Department of Labor statistics to say where the joblessness rate is, the unemployment rate, inflation, all of that. So right now we are in a good spot historically going by that metric. The one that we credited Donald Trump with is the one we now credit Joe Biden with. So I'm asking, what is it about this time that makes that different for you?
What has he done to improve our country? What has Joe Biden done to improve our country?
Well, Michael Short did just mention the jobless numbers, but the only time you're allowed to mention jobs is when you're claiming that those scary migrants from the South are taking all of them. But let's get back to those specifics.
You can bring up the jobless thing, but our country is being destroyed.
Can you get more specific? Though, I'm just asking because I have no horse in the race. I'm just asking what it is specifically.
I don't know. I'm not well spoken enough to tell you that, but he's
I mean, you're saying he's destroyed the country. How has he destroyed the country?
The open border is the main thing. Yes, and his liberal policies and these liberal Democrat judges that are letting criminals out on our streets that are, nobody's held accountable when they break the law. Stores are closing because of all the violence. They're terrible.
If President Biden were to come up to you now and say hi and introduce himself, what would you tell the president?
You probably don't want to know.
No,
But
I wouldn't have.
go. Joe's got to go. He's so demented, he doesn't even know where he's at. He's not running the country.
Who's running the country then?
Oh, Barack Obama.
He's running the country?
Yeah, from behind the scenes, yep.
Oh.
Joe Biden's not capable of doing anything. He can't even figure out how to get off of a stage.
Hey there, MAGA regret. It is really, really happening. And I grew up in rural Iowa, just 1 hour away from Omaha, Nebraska. Both of my children live in Nebraska. Most of my family are in Nebraska right now. And so this is a really big deal for me. But you guys voted for this. And I don't want to go through the whole thing that everybody else is doing. What I want to talk about is decency. So when I grew up, and probably the same thing for boomers, if you broke something, you made up for it. So say you go borrow your neighbor's ladder and it breaks. You go buy them a new ladder, your wife bakes them a cake or a pie, and you express your sorry several times, and you feel bad. So now your vote, because you did not pay attention the last time or read Project 2025 or anything to point you in the right direction and show you what exactly was going to happen, this is the vote that you made. And so I see many of you coming on here crying fake little tears, but I have zero sympathy for you, because what are you actually doing now? Are you protesting in any way? What are you doing besides trying to get other people to feel bad for you? It's going to require action, and it's going to require you to really go out and mobilize and make a difference now, because you are the one who did the thing. It was you. You made the vote. It's affecting you now, just like it affects the rest of us. So what are you going to do? I'm really anxious to hear what you're going to do to make up for it. We are not the ones that did this. So again, how are you going to make it right? The people in the Midwest it's very, very important to make up for your wrong. So what are you doing to make up for your wrong? Write it down. What action, what mobilization are you doing? This is really the only answer now. I don't want to hear any more tears or any more bullshit. What are you doing? Thank you.
Well, the MAGA ride is getting bumpy and some folks want a refund, but vote doesn't come with return policies. Let me know in the comments, do you feel sorry for them or not? See you on the next one.